Murdoch here with Love Hawaii Villas, Love Hawaii Realty, and I wanted to bring you an updated Hawaii travel, tourism, and vacation planning update. It has been a little while. We've been very busy, and I thought it would make sense to talk a little bit about the latest over here. So today is March 22nd, 2021, and I'm here on the shoreline of Ko Olina. So before we jump in, let's take a look at the view, looking up the west side Waianae coast out here to a very relatively calm ocean. It's a nice change in weather from what it's been the last couple of weeks. Very windy, very rainy, a lot of wave action. So the storms have passed for now. Back to our normal sunny, dry West Oahu weather right here on Lagoon 2 at the beach villas at Ko Olina. And it's great to see people coming back. It's great to see we have some visitors here, and our business has definitely been busy. I'll jump into that in a minute. But this is what's calling you back right here. This is what people are all about coming to Hawaii. So jumping into the information for today, January visitor numbers according to the Hawaii Tourism Authority are 171,000 visitors to the islands in January 2021. This is still down about 80% over January 2020. However, we're seeing our business is busier than almost ever before. And so I want to talk a little bit about that and how that can be happening if visitor numbers are still down so much, and why that might be, and kind of what's going on here. So just to refresh, for those who don't know, Hawaii was virtually shut down to all visitor travel from about late March into October of 2020. So it wasn't until October 15th, 2020 that we saw the state of Hawaii launch the Safe Travels program, which essentially enabled visitors from out of Hawaii to come to Hawaii and bypass the mandatory 14-day quarantine if they were able to present a negative COVID-19 test that they had taken from an authorized provider. Now, this is something that we wish they had rolled out much, much sooner, but it just took them that long to get it done and to get it rolled out and put together. From that time, October 15th, 2020 until now, we have seen incredible demand for our properties that we manage and for the vacation rental sector in general. And we have just been keeping incredibly busy. In fact, the months of January, February, and so far March month to date have seen record-breaking booking numbers in terms of future bookings being secured for the vacation rental properties that we manage. And this is really interesting. It was not quite what I expected. I thought 2021 would be a little less bad than 2020 in terms of the return to business and getting tourism coming back and everything like that. So here's kind of what I'm taking away from it. What I wanted to share with you is, one, the Safe Travels program is working. People are doing it. It's working. It's effective. It could be improved. It could be more efficient. Of course, there's always room for improvement without a doubt. But it is working. There is a system in place, and people are following it. There is a huge demand for travel to Hawaii. There is a pent-up demand, if you will. It was very difficult to travel to Hawaii for almost all of 2020. So now that you can, we're seeing that pent-up demand being realized, and people are coming back. An average of about 5,000 to 6,000 people a day based on 171,000 visitors in January. Once we get February and March data, we can look at that as well. So the demand is there. People are coming back. And sure, some people may not want to come back until Safe Travels changes, or until they don't have to take a test, or maybe they want to wait until they're vaccinated, or what have you. Everyone's different, but there is and are a bunch of people that are willing to come back to Hawaii, as evidenced by what we're seeing right now, by our booking numbers, by what's happening within the industry. With that as well, I think what's going on with people at home is people are tired of being at home. They want to get out. They want to go back on vacations. They want to get out of the home, get out of the area. That's another factor. People can work from anywhere. Kids can do school from almost anywhere. That's another factor that's driving things, not just on the rental side, but also on the real estate sales side, which I'll probably do a different video about. And then on top of that, we have this other dynamic that illegal short-term rentals have been cracked down on in recent years, including an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, signed in the fall of 2020 by then Mayor Kirk Caldwell on Oahu for Honolulu County with Expedia Group and Airbnb, essentially agreeing to work with them to provide TMK numbers, which is the tax map key number for properties here on Oahu that wish to list on either Airbnb and or Vrbo or an Expedia Group platform like Expedia. or HomeAway or what have you. That's all under the same parent company. And what that essentially does is it gives the local enforcement authority, the DPP, Department of Permitting and Planning, the ability to see which tax map key numbers are in the system on the back end. Are those legal short-term rentals or not? If they're not, then they would have to be a minimum 30-day rental. And what this is working towards is effectively shutting down any illegal short-term rentals, of which there have been thousands on Oahu alone, running rampant. And so that, coupled with Bill 89, which became Ordinance 1918, essentially is cracking down heavily on any illegal short-term rentals, leaving what few legal short-term rentals exist on Oahu as the only condos and homes available to rent on a short-term basis, whether it's nightly or weekly. So here behind me, as we looked at earlier, the beach villas at Ko Olina, you may not be able to see them now behind this rock. They are legal short-term rentals with a 6-night rental minimum because they are in a resort zoning. So we do manage 30 plus condos there, and that is part of why we're seeing such a huge demand currently, is because there are just a limited supply of legal short-term rentals. That's all these things together are creating a convergence, if you will, where we are seeing unprecedented demand for Hawaii vacation rentals, and we're also seeing unprecedented demand for real estate as well. And that's not unique to Hawaii, of course. Nationwide real estate markets are just seeing incredible action and historically low inventory levels. So again, topic for another video. So what does this all mean for travelers or potential travelers to Hawaii? Well, plan your trip, start planning your trip in advance, and definitely be working on it, because normally you could have a lot of options for last minute travel, but things are filling up more and more. I would say plan in advance as much as you can. Check the different policies for the different providers, what the options are. Our cancellation policies are a lot more flexible now, which is nice for travelers. We're being cognizant of that in light of COVID, but now, with people getting through it, a lot of people having had COVID already, including myself, people getting vaccinated or feeling like you get towards this herd immunity level, that, along with the other things I've already mentioned, people are coming back, and people are less and less hesitant to travel and come back to Hawaii. And once you're here, you can go to the beaches, you can go to the parks, you can go hiking, you can do so many different things. A lot of the activities aren't yet back fully, but you do have various activity options. You can go scuba diving and snorkeling and fishing and, all these different types of things. Some of the luau's are a little more limited, but nonetheless, you can do majority of things you want to do. You can do pretty much any of the outdoor activity types of things that you might want to do. And so, once you get yourself here and jump through the hoops necessary to get here, it's awesome. It's amazing what you can do. And so you just have to understand how the Safe Travels program works. We can do some other videos on that to get into it in more depth. We've gone back and forth to the mainland several times in the last 6 months. We've done the Vault Health testing, which is the mail-in saliva-based COVID test. It's worked great for us. There are a number of different options that are available to people to use and to take. So look into that. Just look on Safe Travels and make sure 100% that you use a preferred partner only. You can't just get any COVID test that you want. You have to use a preferred partner. So don't think just because you work at a hospital or just because you're a doctor or just because you have this access to a test that they're going to accept that. They will only accept tests from authorized providers. It has to be the right kind of test. We even had a guest that came recently that went to Walgreens to get a test, but they messed it up. So you just really want to make sure your provider does it correctly and that you're working with the right one. If you have any questions about the Vault Health option, let us know. I have had some firsthand experience with that, but we will, like I said, do a video on that. And so once you understand how that works, you get your test lined up, you get your travel booked, your accommodations, you just make sure that you have that test within the window allowed. You register every traveler on the Safe Travels website. Each traveler needs to be registered there. That's where you add your trip. That's where you add your test results. I recommend you print out a hard copy of your test results and have that with you. Once you do all that on that site, you'll get a QR code icon within the Safe Travels site under your trip. So after you've added your trip and you go into your trips and you click on it, there'll be a QR code there. You can just do a screenshot of that to show them at the airport. You can be logged in on that app, or the website rather, to show that. And then once you get to your accommodations, including the beach villas at Ko Olina here, they do require to show that again. So you have to be prepared to show that both at the airport and at your accommodations. And then once you do that, you're good to go. And then once you're here, you are expected to wear masks in the stores, any commercial establishment, any restaurant you would wear when you enter. Once you sit down, you can take the mask off. Coming and going in the common area hallways, you're expected to wear a mask. Once you're at the beach or at the pool or these kind of areas, or out on your own hiking, then you really don't have to keep wearing the mask. So let us know if you have any questions. I hope this little update was helpful. We look forward to having you guys come out, and please do like and subscribe. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, awesome, thank you, congratulations. Please do support our channel by like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video. Aloha.